Victims and Villains presents Gloom's Death, a Matthew Basile play. We fade up in a forest. Luna sits amongst a group of wolves, petting them affectionately. Fear anxiously paces back and forth in front of them.
You know, Fear, it's not very endearing when you're agitated and fidgeting like this.
I'm sorry, Luna. I do truly enjoy your company, but the idea of us, well, having a,
Us being a romantic couple?
Yes, it's all very new to me, you must understand. I'm just a bit apprehensive about it.
What is there to be apprehensive about? All we are doing is spending time together and getting to know each other deeper.
I don't recall ever doing that before.
You've been doing it with Olivia, and you don't act all freaked out with her.
I believe she would beg to differ.
Just because something is new doesn't mean it's going to be the end of existence as we know it.
That's precisely it. Look what's already occurred since all this news started happening. All of us emotions almost got trapped in that apathetic lock and died. We would have if it wasn't for Sorrow, who I still have not been able to find.
Yes, but everything turned out okay. I'm sure Sorrow is fine and just wants to be left alone. And, might I add, that we weren't technically dating then.
True, but it was selfishness's unprecedented actions that brought about that situation. Our relationship is equally unprecedented.
Terra and Solus have been together since I've known them. And aren't selfishness and love now starting something?
Yes, but Terra and Solus are celestial bodies, like you. Selfishness and love are emotions, like myself.
Your point?
Never before have I heard of an emotion and a celestial body pairing up.
So?
So things are unstable. Now is not the time to be daring and haphazard.
Really? Our relationship is haphazard? Fear, you know how I feel. But until you feel the same way, this won't do us any good.
I'm just asking for time to wrap my head around this. We are very different individuals, and a romantic endeavor brings many potential entanglements.
All right, Fear. If you ever get ready, you know how to find me.
Luna storms off. Fear sighs and glares at the wolves.
Don't look at me like that.
So, I find you here amongst the trees, Fear.
Hello, Doubt. Were you looking for me or just passing through?
A little from column A and a little from column B. I wanted to see how you were faring after all that apathetic lock business that selfishness brought on.
To tell you the truth...
You know I always seek the truth.
Yeah, well, in that case, I'm still quite shook up. Things seem to be happening at a rapid pace. The capital emotions are splintered and new things are being dared.
Yes. I heard love feels betrayed by pleasure. Still, I find it odd that love keeps much time with selfishness, who was the true instigator of that mess.
Love is just confused, as am I. Things are not how we are used to them being.
Which is why we must all tread carefully until we see what effects are wrought.
Exactly. That is what I was just attempting to explain to Luna. She was just to jump into a romantic endeavor with me, and I don't feel now is the right time.
An emotion, having a sentimental relationship, and with a celestial body, absurd.
You really believe so?
Absolutely. We emotions exist to help guide life on Terra so they may navigate the best course. What could possibly be gained by one of us getting involved in an intimate relationship with someone not of that ilk? There's no evidence for it. Instead, the evidence points to an infatuation of hers which will pass in time based on my previous observations.
I suppose you're correct. I enjoy her company, but I can't be misled from any responsibilities. A relationship as deep as she wishes will only yield distractions.
Precisely. I am glad we happened upon each other so I could write your path.
I appreciate your advice.
It is what I do. It is how I serve. Without proper evidence, we cannot act, for without the necessary justification, our actions will be in waste. Therefore, the logical conclusion is to always stand on what has been tried and true until it no longer is true. It's only prudent.
You know I am always careful.
Oh, fear. If you lost your care, I shudder to think where we would all be. Please, if you need any more counsel, don't hesitate to call on me.
I won't. Thank you.
Doubt exits. Fear solemnly walks off, lost in thought. We are now in a town. A person walks about clearly upset.
Can't stand that creep. Always shooting his mouth off. I have ways of getting back at him. I bet he doesn't know that. Who am I kidding?
The person collapses in a heap.
I'm a mess. I have no home. They'll kick me out any day now. Things will never turn around for me. Everybody thinks I don't know anything, but I know more than they think. And what good has it done me, I ask you? Why I ought to go into that creep's home and just take what I need. That would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. No, I'll get caught. But maybe I should get caught. Maybe jail is the best place for me. I don't know what to do. I try so hard, but it all comes to nothing. I could just cry.
Sorrow enters, looking around confused. Something is grasped in her hand.
I knew it. I have returned once more to this plane of existence. Why couldn't I stay in oblivion? For there lies the only peace sorrow will ever know.
The person does not see or hear sorrow and continues on.
I can't do this anymore. I should just end it. But what if I end up in hell? How much worse could hell be than this life?
As long as gloom spreads pain, I will always know the misery of others. Just look at this poor, degraded soul. But my saving all emotions was not completely without benefit to me. For the apathetic lock is still within me, and I can still use it to free myself from my forlorn fetters. Perhaps even free this poor creature as well.
Why should I suffer like this? I tried to be good, but life just kept slapping me right in the face every time I made a move.
Sorrow, why did you summon me? You know I'm a very busy emotion and don't have time for your lamenting.
Silence, Gloom, and look upon your handiwork.
Yes, sirree. I'm just a punching bag for life. Maybe that's just my lot. To suffer. Every time I think I've figured out life, wham!
Yep, did quite a number on that one.
You certainly did. Too much so. I can't absorb all their sadness, and this individual is becoming disruptive to the flow of things. They're all over the place. They could end their life, or someone else's, or both.
Happens all the time. Not my problem when mortals leave this world.
That may be a fair statement. However, I think it's fair to say you were a little unbalanced to this creature. Look at them, barely functioning as a life form. Terra and Solace would not be pleased with this work. Do you disagree?
Even if I did care what Terra and Solace thought, what do you want me to do?
Clean up your mess.
Fine. I'll leave them alone from now on. Can I go?
That will not be sufficient.
What else can I do? Mortals can't see or hear us emotions. I mean, there's this stupid rumors about some human girl who can, but that's just nonsense.
I am sure Terra could find a way.
If I ask Terra, and she can't, then will you drop this?
You have my word.
You are so frustrating. Everyone always trying to tell me how to do my work.
Gloom storms off. Sorrow approaches the person who is now whimpering.
Take heart, child. Your suffering is almost at an end, along with mine.
We are now in a forest. Gloom trudges through it, looking around.
Yo, Terra! I need to talk to you.
Gloom, dear. What is it which you desire to talk to me about?
Sorrow's on my case about a human who's coming undone. Said she can't handle all the woes the organism's giving off and wants me to have a talk with them.
Huh. I am always pleased when one takes responsibility for one's actions.
Oh, you're gonna get on my case too now. I was doing my job. I'm good at it.
That you were and that you are, and I wasn't chastising you. All you emotions, do the best you can at any given moment. No one could ask for anything more.
Anyway, I told Sorrow since I'm an emotion, I couldn't talk to the humans, so there was nothing I could do.
I think I can help with that. I can fashion a mortal shell for you to inhabit.
You can do that?
Why wouldn't I be able to do such a thing? You emotions are energy, like myself and all who tread on me. The only difference is, with your emotions, you have no physical energy half, which is just dormant energy. This allows you to move about without any limitations, so you could do the task you were born to do with greater ease. I and my inhabitants are a fusion of the two, so we can better know the cycles of energy and creation, the gap between potential and realization.
I only came here so Sorrow would shut up. What do cycles of energy have to do with anything?
A great deal. Since what I will create will be pure dormant energy, you can fuse your own lively energy with it.
Well, I can be pretty lively, but I still don't see how that's gonna help anything.
Well, mortals tend to not be as open to communication as you and I. You emotions speak to humans, but they do not register it as an exchange. With a physical form that is tangible, I think this person will be able to directly hear you if your voice is loud enough.
My voice is plenty loud, don't you worry.
Terra sculpts a lion's body.
There. This lion's body should do the trick. Such a beautiful mane, I must say.
A lion. Why not just give me a human shell?
Well, that's the clever part. You see, if I gave you a human shell, the human would think that you were just someone who was tricking them or lost their wits. What you say will be believable as a lion, since lions do not normally speak in human tongues.
Or the human will think that they've lost their mind.
Then it will be your job to convince them otherwise.
Someone as smart as me can figure something out. But you're sure giving me a challenge.
I am Terra. It's what I do. You should be one of the emotions that knows that the best.
Terra hands Gloom the lion's body.
I'll give this one shot.
And I wish you the best with it, as in all your endeavors.
Terra and Gloom exit in opposite directions. We are now back in the town. The person is still in anguish. Gloom enters as a lion, and the person is startled by Gloom. The person screams and tries to run, but Gloom blocks the way.
Do not run from me! I am only begrudgingly doing this chore and do not wish to chase you like a fool.
Oh no. I'm hallucinating. They're gonna commit me now.
You do not hallucinate. I'm an emotion who is in this lion's body.
What?
Never mind. Just know I'm not made up by your imagination. I have known you well your entire life, but was unable to communicate with you until now.
I think I would have remembered a lion.
You never saw me in my true form. I have no physical form, but that's beside the point.
So you're like a fairy godmother?
If you'd rather think of me that way, go ahead.
I always wish for a fairy godmother. All my life. Just like in the stories. So I'll take you in any form.
Getting back to the purpose of my visit. You must stop your childish hysterics at your lot in life. Life isn't all good.
I don't remember any good.
That's not my fault.
I didn't say it was.
Regardless, stop being so reckless.
I'm a mess because I hope someone or something will change everything and make it better. Or even just end things for me. Can you do something to help with your magic?
I have no magic.
What kind of fairy godmother are you? You're just a disappointment like everything else in my life.
Sorrow appears holding something in her hand.
Do you now see the cost of your actions and why they must not be allowed to continue?
Sorrow stabs Gloom with the implement in her hand. Gloom lets out a howling cry, and the lion's body goes limp.
What happened? Did you just die? Great. Even my hallucinations can't stand being around me for very long.
The person falls to their knees. Sorrow watches empathetically.
This will not do at all.
Sorrow picks up the lion's body and puts it on.
Let your heart be lighter, child, for your misery is now at an end, thanks to my cause.
What do you mean? What happened to you just now?
Well, I took the apathetic lock into me and molded out of it a weapon, which I used to slay Gloom, while Gloom was in this physical form. They say us emotions can never die, but with a weapon made from apathy and an emotion inhabiting a mortal shell, it worked just as I planned. And Gloom has been sent to the domain of the dead for eternity.
So, you do have magic? Wait, who is Gloom?
The emotion who brings suffering, despondence and pain to all who walk, crawl, swim, fly, and slither on Terra.
Are you saying this Gloom person is responsible for everything I've gone through?
Yes, that is the truth I am sharing with you.
You mean to tell me that everything I have gone through has been somebody else's doing? That my sad excuse for a life was this Gloom's fault?
And now, I've ended Gloom's existence on this plane.
If this Gloom did all that to me, caused me all that pain, I want to make sure Gloom feels pain. But you took that away from me. Now how am I going to get justice? How will I know peace? Maybe I should take it out on you instead.
Sorrow exits the lion's body and it goes limp once more.
Now what happened? I am going out of my mind! Oh!
The person begins to throw a temper tantrum and pummel the lion's body in frustration.
This isn't having the effect I intended.
Anger enters.
That human has had enough. That's why I had to show up. They need a good kick in the rear.
No, you simpleton. I have to figure out how to calm them.
That ain't my specialty.
Why is there no peace? I slew Gloom to rectify everything.
You killed an emotion? That's impossible.
There is always a way when there's a will strong enough.
If Gloom's gone, why is this human having a problem?
Because when this mortal found out Gloom was responsible for all their misfortunes, they wished to kill Gloom.
Oh, they want revenge. Now, that is my specialty. And let me tell you, There's only one cure for that. The sweet taste of it.
Did you not hear my words? Gloom is dead.
Yeah, then take the human to the domain of the dead. Someone like Gloom's gotta still be hanging around there. Beating a dead horse just might work here.
You suggest I lead the mortal to the domain of the dead to find Gloom, so that they can vent their frustrations directly?
Something like that.
As outlandish as it sounds, it can't harm anything, I suppose. Perhaps I did not take into consideration that others would need to feel empowered to take command of their life as I have.
Whatever you say. I gotta go find resentment. We still looking for a way to change up things.
Don't you realize I have brought forth a new era without Gloom?
Doesn't look that way to me.
Resentment enters.
Anger, what are you doing wasting time talking to this deserter?
I am not a deserter, Resentment. I just realized efforts to change the fountain of life were fruitless. Unlike you two feeble-minded emotions.
What did you call me? You wanna fight?
Save your energy, Anger. There's a time and a place, and right now is neither.
Agreed, because I have already championed a new era.
Sorrow here says she's killed Gloom.
You found a way to kill an emotion? Well, don't just keep it to yourself now.
Restrain your conniving. It was a one-time deal. The instrument of apathy is gone.
Oh, you have been overlooked, Sorrow. One clever enough to find a way to kill an emotion should be ruling all emotions.
Wait a minute. I thought our whole revolution was to get rid of the ones telling us what to do. What are you pulling here?
Settle down, Anger.
Don't you tell me what to do. I ain't your servant.
All I meant was that perhaps if Sorrow were to rejoin us, it would lead to new avenues for our cause.
My cause is already complete.
Don't look that way to me.
It's just a loose end to tidy up. Leave me to it.
If you say so. But just do me a favor and think it over. Come along, Anger.
Hey, I don't like this, you telling me what to do. If I wanted that, I would have stuck with fear.
I'm a much better ally, trust me. Now quit fighting for once and just let me think.
Why you gotta do all the thinking?
Because that's what I do. I evaluate things. You're the blunt instrument of action.
That's a good thing, right?
Yes. Why couldn't I have been stuck with any other emotion?
What did you say?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Resentment and anger exit the stage.
Anger is as short-sighted and small-minded as they come, but may actually be on to something here. Clearly the work I have done is unfinished, and if it means traversing the domain of the dead once more to complete it, then so be it.
Sora re-enters the lion's body.
Cease your outburst, human, and save it for the one who is deserving of it.
You said you already killed that person.
I did, but I have trapped them in the domain of the dead. We can travel there so you may mete out your retributions as you see fit.
I don't like the sound of domain of the dead.
You will not be in any danger, and I will guide you there myself. Consider it my penance for taking restitution away from you.
There won't be any hellfire or ghosts? What if I get trapped there? Life hasn't given me a reason to trust that anything will work out.
Then let us redeem your existence through this act of trust. I give you an end to your pain. Do not turn away when you are so close.
Well, okay, fairy godmother. I'll trust you and your magic to help me. Though you are a very strange fairy godmother.
Sorrow and the person walk off. We are now in a desolate desert landscape. Luna walks about pensively, taking in her surroundings.
The special beauty here gives me comfort. Fear has such beauty as well, but he doesn't see it. Or maybe I am fooling myself and he just doesn't see the beauty in me.
Luna sighs and wanders off. Sorrow, still in the lion's body, enters, followed by the person.
So, this is the domain of the dead?
Yes.
It's not as terrifying as I was afraid it would be, but don't you dare leave.
I promise I won't, but I must exit this body temporarily from time to time in order for us to navigate this realm.
Why?
While in a mortal shell, it is difficult to navigate this land. But do not fear. I will still be by your side, even though you can't see me. And I will return in a short while.
You said nothing about leaving me. Why should I trust you? I just met you.
We will get turned around otherwise. I am doing this for both our benefits. I must separate from this body now. Do not fret.
Sorrow leaves the lion's body and it goes blimp.
No, don't leave me here alone.
This is proving to be more daunting than I had originally thought. The mortal is so fragile.
Sorrow, what are you doing here? Did you really die when you were absorbed in the apathetic lock? Wait, this human is still living? And what is this lion carcass doing here?
Mind your own business, Luna. Go be frivolous with your new playmate and leave the heavy matters to those who have the depths to see them through.
Sorrow, what have you done?
I will tell you exactly what I've done, so you know of which lengths I am capable. I was able to concentrate the apathetic lock into a weapon, and after tricking Gloom into a mortal shell, I used it to trap Gloom in this plane of existence. But this organism will not be abated without administering their own reckoning on Gloom, so I brought them here to exact retributions.
I'm not sure where to even start with what is wrong with all of that.
Do you think I care for what you think? You are a celestial being, and this human can't see or hear you. Furthermore, you can't enter a mortal shell like we emotions can. Even if you did somehow convince Fear to come to the domain of the dead, I will just enter the shell and prevent him from communicating with the organism directly. And if you were able to overpower me by some stroke of fortune, you will just leave this poor entity even more lost and confused than they already are. I believe neither of us want that. You're in over your head, so stay out of my way.
Sorrow re-enters the lion's body.
You're back.
I told you I would be. And each time I leave and come back, I hope you will gain that much more faith in me. I have my bearings once more, so let us continue.
Sorrow gives a sneer to Luna as she and the person walk off. Luna huffs and walks off in the opposite direction. We are once more in a forest. Fear enters.
How can I, a capital emotion, risk being preoccupied by a romantic relationship? Is one such as me even capable of it? My duties are always to life on Terra first and foremost. I spend time with Olivia to better learn how to serve my charges. I've carried this task on my shoulders since the dawn of time, and that is how it will always be, for it can be no other way.
There you are, Fear.
Luna? What troubles you?
I found Sorrow, but she has made a mess of things, and there could be irreparable damage if we don't hurry.
I've never observed you like this. You behave, well, almost like me. Whatever has transpired?
Sorrow somehow trapped Gloom in the domain of the dead and is taking a human to him. I'm afraid if they reach Gloom, it will unravel everything.
That is most definitely concerning. I will rally the others and let Terra know what has occurred.
There's no time. I think if the human kills Gloom again in the domain of the dead, that will trap Gloom there forever. We have to stop the human.
There is no means for us to do that as emotions. We can influence through whispers, but Humans do not interpret it as direct communication. Besides, they still have free will. How's Sorrow even reaching this mortal?
Sorrow is monopolizing a lion's body in order to talk directly to this person. We need someone else who can reason with this human and explain things.
It's not likely any of us emotions will be able to do what you say is needed with our limitations. What hope do we have?
Only another human who can talk to emotions.
You can't. Don't bring her into this.
She's the only one who can help.
But consider what you're asking. Taking Olivia to the domain of the dead, putting her in between sorrow and gloom, it will be too much for her to bear.
You won't know unless you ask her. Fear, if you have ever trusted me, please trust me now.
We are now high on a city rooftop. Olivia sits on the edge of the roof with earbuds in and is bouncing her head to a tempo. A horn honk is heard.
Hey, will you quit that honking? I'm trying to listen to my music up here.
Fear enters along with Luna. Olivia sees him and stops listening to her music.
What's up, Fear?
Olivia, I'm afraid I have something to ask you. It's quite dangerous, and I completely understand if you don't wish to do it.
Don't phrase it like that.
I'm phrasing it honestly. How else should I be phrasing it?
I take it your imaginary friend is with you.
Yes, Luna feels, and I do as well, that you may be the only individual who can prevent catastrophe.
That's a tall order.
You are presenting this in such a bad light. Just tell her what the situation is and let her make up her own mind.
Very well. Olivia, sorrow has somehow trapped the emotion Gloom in the domain of the dead and is now taking a mortal person to exact retribution on Gloom. Their actions could trap Gloom in the domain of the dead forever.
I'm pretty sure I didn't understand everything, which I'm sadly getting used to with you, but if I got the gist of it, why wouldn't we want an emotion called Gloom out of our hair? Sounds like that would make the world a better place.
Tell her she doesn't understand the balance of this world.
However unpleasant, Gloom is an emotion with a purpose, just like me.
Why does this person have a beef with Gloom?
It's similar to how you were once angry with me. They see Gloom as the reason their life has not been pleasant.
So, just like me, you mean?
Yes, I imagine you share many similarities. But unlike you, this individual cannot perceive us emotions, which makes you one of the only individuals who's able to correspond with both sides of this dilemma.
I'm still not sure I see why I should be saving this Gloom character, but if there's someone like me out there, I do feel bad for them.
So does that mean you will come with us to the domain of the dead?
That doesn't sound like a place I want to go to. Besides, there is one tiny problem. Did you forget I'm not dead and wasn't counting on it anytime soon?
There are many portals to the domain of the dead that allow mortals to enter and exit it. I believe you humans refer to them as ghost encounters.
Don't you make people afraid of ghosts?
I try to steer those who dwell on Terra away from the domain of the dead. I feel it is a place best left undisturbed.
Yet you're trying to convince me to go there.
These are unique circumstances.
Oh, for crying out loud, you two are still so stubborn together.
So, does that mean I'm riding solo if I go on this little adventure?
No. Luna and I will be with you the entire time. I know we are still building our trust, but you have my word, I will not let any harm come to you.
I see. You know, last time you begged me to help you, I found out some weirdo lived in my head. Still trying to get over that one, you know.
I appreciate how much you've endured. I wouldn't be coming to you if I saw another way.
You really think I'm the only one who can help this person?
Your unique perceptions may be our only chance to rectify this peculiar situation.
Peculiar certainly fits my life these days. Let's go, before I come to my senses.
See? I told you she would understand. Eventually, that is.
You are sure of this decision, Olivia? I cannot hide the fact that there is potential peril.
Hey, I'm supposed to be making my own decisions these days, aren't I? Not being afraid of the world is the reason we got together in the first place, right?
Did I ever tell you how much I like this kid?
Yes, Olivia, that is truth you speak.
Besides, at least we're not going in my head this time. Kind of afraid what we would find in there if we went a third time. So like I said, let's do this Land of the Dead thing before I wise up.
Fear, Olivia, and Luna exit. We are back in the desolate desert of the domain of the dead. Gloom appears, still in the lion's body.
When I get my hands on that sorrow, no one treats Gloom this way. Look at me, stuck in a lion's body in a barren world. No fun to be had. What am I gonna do? I have to find a way out. What if this is it for me? The mighty Gloom, stuck in a limbo realm for all eternity. I'll die of boredom over and over here. And over there, too. And then over there by that lake as a treat. Ugh. Can already feel this landscape eating away at me. Can't stand it. What did I ever do to deserve this? I was just doing my duty. Was it my fault I was good at it? Now I know how my works felt. Hopelessness. Loss. Face it, Gloom, who would ever save one such as you? I'm gonna have to figure my own way out. What can I do trapped in this infernal mortal shell?
Gloom exits. Afterwards, Luna, Fear, and Olivia enter.
So, this is where you go when you die? What? I guess it could be worse.
This is the opposite of the world you and I inhabit. Death is but a phase, just as the living world you are familiar with is temporary as well. Of course, where one goes on after here, I cannot say.
Why are you a woman now?
I told you before, we emotions can shift personas. Different energies have various strengths. The feminine energy is better able to navigate this landscape.
Hey, you do you. I'm just not used to seeing you this way.
I prefer my other form.
No judgment. It's just, every time I think I got you figured out, you hit different.
Hit different? Is that a good thing?
Jury's still out.
All right, you two, let's hurry. Our advantage over the others is that Sorrow keeps having to stop and leave the lion's body to navigate. We don't need to do that.
Then lead on. You are more familiar with this realm than I am.
Hey, what's with that group of people over there? They're just standing, clustered together in silence. Is that hell or something?
I am not very knowledgeable on the workings of this plane of existence, but I believe those people there appear stuck. This domain is transient, and they seem to be having difficulty leaving this realm.
Should we go over there and help them?
I do not know, honestly.
Tell her that they have to help themselves.
That sounds rather pitiless.
Are you saying that I'm cold-hearted? After all we've been through together?
I just feel that was a rather dismissive statement. After all, didn't you make me drag Olivia here to help someone out of this dimension?
That is a completely different situation. Those people, they got themselves stuck there. And they are the only ones who can get themselves unstuck. You can't go around carrying everyone's burdens.
Ah, so this is about me.
Not everything is about you.
I would say this certainly seems to be.
You know, for an imaginary friend, you two sure argue a lot.
There are some challenges currently.
That's one way of putting it.
Of course, you and I argue all the time too, so maybe that's just how you are around people.
Like I always say, smart kid.
Will you two stop browbeating me and let's just get down to the business at hand?
You're right. We can discuss our relationship later. Right now, too much is at stake.
I'm not used to seeing you the concerned one. I understand that this is a problematic situation, but usually you are the one telling me to soothe myself.
You talking to your imaginary friend?
Yes, she appears more disturbed than I'm used to seeing her.
Well, this place doesn't exactly put one at ease.
Maybe I just understand the role of Gloom better than most. Come on. I know a shortcut to where I think Gloom is.
She thinks she knows a shortcut. She says time is of the essence, and those people over there will get unstuck in their own manner and pace.
Whatever you say.
Luna, Fear, and Olivia walk off. Gloom, still trapped as a lion, paces back and forth in the domain of the dead. Sorrow, in the lion's body, comes along with the person.
Oh, that body does not fool me. I can't believe you were foolish enough to come here, Sorrow. Now I'm gonna tear you limb from limb.
Gloom and Sorrow struggle.
What causes you to hesitate, human? This lion is host to the entity that brought about all your suffering and woes. Seize justice so you may find peace, so we may all find peace.
I don't know which lion to attack.
I will make it easy. Strike the lion who still remains alive.
Sorrow leaves the lion body and it goes limp.
What can this human possibly do to me? Leave, mortal, before I tear you apart as well.
Were you responsible for everything I went through in life? Answer me!
Of course I was. I'm Gloom. It's what I do. What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna give you a taste of what I went through, so you will never be able to hurt me again!
I'm stuck in the domain of the dead. Do you really think a gun is going to scare me?
I don't care if you're scared, just as long as you suffer.
Whoa. They sure don't prepare you for this kind of thing in school. Then again, what can prepare you for it?
Mind your own affairs, Fear, and tell your companions to do the same.
You can't trap an emotion in this realm. We all serve a purpose on Terra.
You actually believe such a notion? Someone like Gloom, who brings nothing but torment, is purposeful to life?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
Name's Olivia. Fear and her imaginary friend dragged me here.
Who is Fear?
Oh, for crying. I forgot I'm still the only freak who can see any of you.
I am so confused.
Welcome to my life.
Wait. The stories are true? There does exist a human who can see us.
Unfortunately for me, yes. And who are you again?
I'm called Gloom.
Oh, so you're the Joker we're supposed to save.
I need no saving.
Kinda looks like you do, actually.
You bring a young human to the domain of the dead. You have grown rash beyond my wildest imaginings, Fear.
Shut it, Sorrow. You're the one being careless. Gloom, if this human strikes you, then you will both be caught in an endless cycle in this dimension.
How do you know this for sure?
I know things. Some that you don't. Just like I'm sure you know things that I don't.
That's why you wanted to get to know each other?
Yes. So we could share who we are and grow from it.
But I didn't want to let in the new. To let you in. To try something different.
Fear, stop the couples counseling and talk to me. We got a gun and a lion here. What exactly did you want me to do with this mess?
Who are you talking to?
The emotion, Fear. Trust me, I get what it's like. She talks to her imaginary friend all the time in front of me.
Luna says you need to convince this person not to strike Gloom. Otherwise, it will trap them both here.
Both of them will be trapped?
Don't fall for their games, Olivia.
Apparently, if you harm Gloom over there, it will trap you both in this world forever.
Nothing can be done to me that hasn't already been done. Gloom has tormented me my entire life.
Oh, I get it. Fear tormented me my entire life. I hated him. I mean, her.
Excuse me?
That's before I knew you. Now you're just irritating.
Are you sure you don't need to change your medication or something?
I wished it was that easy. So, what did Gloom do to you?
My role in the world?
Screw your role. I lost my family, my job. I'm gonna lose my home. People have hurt me my entire life.
I'm sorry. It must be terrifying to even wake up in the morning.
I am just so tired. Nothing matters.
I was tired of the fear. But now it makes me realize how strong I am.
I don't think I'm very strong.
You're still living. Well, usually, I take it. Plus, I kind of feel like you have nowhere else to go but up from here.
How? Tell me how I get there.
I don't know. Still trying to figure it out myself. I'm sure there are people in your life who can help.
I have nobody.
You have sorrow and gloom.
What kind of friends are they? What good have they done me?
They showed you what didn't work, didn't they?
That kid is really something.
Yes, she certainly is.
I mean, if you want to hang around here and beat up a lion, you do you. But me, I'd really like to get out of this place as fast as I can and try to find something a little more lively. Anyway, I said all I could think of to help. Can we go now, Fear?
The person collapses in sobs.
I'm just so stupid, and I just want it to end.
Now look what you have done. Now I have to absorb this organism's tears. How much more must you cause me to bear?
My mom's got a lot of issues, but when I was little, she used to tell me that the tears washed away your pain. So why don't you just let them cry it out?
What good will that serve? One should not be sad. Organisms grow weary and overwhelmed. I must absorb the suffering so they may move on with life.
You call this moving on?
Maybe it's time to try something different, Sorrow.
Reverse my empathy?
How about just feeling the feels, honestly?
Sorrow puts a hand on the person, and they begin to shed tears.
Just want to let it all go and be happy for once. I forgive you, Gloom. I don't want to make you suffer. I just want to feel good in life.
The background changes to that of the town. Gloom exits the lion's body.
Oh! I'm back to normal. Ugh.
What has occurred here?
I think you let them release their feelings so they were able to let go. It opened a door.
How do you feel? Whatever your name is.
Actually, better somehow?
That's good. I take it we're back where you live?
Yeah. I don't know what you did, kid, or if you really can see emotions, but thank you. Do you also speak of love and pleasure?
I can see them, but I don't know them all that much.
Maybe you know them better than you think.
You sure you're going to be all right?
I don't know. But I'm willing to try, and that's different at least. Take care.
The person walks off.
It is good to be back. Don't worry, from now on, I'll be more balanced with who I work with. Lesson learned, blah, blah, blah.
Do as you see fit, Gloom.
Thanks, Fear, and Luna, and you two young girl. I guess I owe you. Sorrow, you're another story.
Let it lie, Gloom. We both have a second chance now.
Gloom, I defended you against Sorrow because I believe in your worth. I will defend Sorrow against you if needed for the same reasons. The choice is yours.
She just better not start anything else with me.
You have my word.
Whatever. I'm out of here.
Gloom walks off.
It would seem a new day has dawned for you, Sorrow.
So it would appear. I no longer feel that organism's pain. By just allowing them to flow with it, by just being there with them, transmuted it somehow. Your human friend was right. The tears really did wash it away.
And now neither of you have to carry it. Where do you go from here, Sorrow?
To lighten myself. You have some very special people around you, Fear. Perhaps they are the company you need to lighten your load as well.
Sorrow leaves.
Luna, I'm so sorry I pushed you away. I was afraid of what I was feeling for you. I was afraid of it changing me.
It will change you. It will change both of us no matter how it goes. But that's life.
And all the time I have spent overseeing life, I never thought I could live it.
Welcome to it.
Thank you.
So, not to break up the happy ending, but how am I supposed to get back home?
There are portals all over to the domain of the dead. Luna and I will guide you back.
Is that person going to be okay?
Only they can determine that, but I think you help them to release their burdens. Now that they are no longer weighed down, perhaps they can resurrect their life properly. You have changed a great deal, Olivia. I continue to be astounded by what a special individual I have encountered.
Let's not get all mushy here. I just tried to help someone.
That is different from the Olivia I once knew.
We were just able to relate to each other because we both know how annoying you emotions can be. I'm nobody special.
You are. And one day I hope you will see that.
So, we going back to my place or what?
Yes. Let us move on from here without further delay.
The end. You have just watched an original Victims and Villains production, starring Gabe Castro as Person.
Hi, I'm Gabe, playing Person, usually playing Love in these. I am one half of The Ghouls Next Door, a media literacy horror podcast. You can check us out on Tuesdays weekly, wherever you find your podcasts, and video on YouTube and Spotify.
Kushin as Sorrow.
Hi, Cap here. Also from The Ghouls Next Door, a media analysis horror podcast, which Gabe told you about. You can also find me and all my art stuff on Cat Draws Stuff and Things on Instagram.
Valarie Stack Dodge as Luna.
Hi, I'm Valarie Stack Dodge, actress and playwright. And next up for me, I'll be in a play called Double Blind at Theater Row starting end of May. Thank you.
Cam Smith as Masculine Fear.
Hey, I'm Cam Smith. I'm the editor-in-chief for Victims and Villains, where you'll be able to hear this later on, just the audio. We are going to be focusing very soon here on our upcoming Film Fest, Horrific Hope, which will be April 29th and 30th. You can get tickets, I believe, on our website, and it should be pretty cool. It actually features a film by Gabe, who played Person, so looking forward to it.
Szczytko as Gloom.
Hi, I'm Steve, actor, camera operator, all kinds of weird things in the entertainment industry. I also work with a VTuber, Teddy Kanakami, who you can find on YouTube and Twitter at Crab Channel. Thank you.
Logan Shirley as Doubt.
Hi, my name is Logan Shirley. I'm an actor, a writer, and I don't have anything to plug. Thanks for watching.
Jessica Apeldorn as Feminine Fear.
Hi, I'm Jess. I don't really have anything to plug either, but definitely go support Ghouls Next Door. Thanks.
Sherrie Dennis as Terra.
Hi, I'm Sherrie Dennis, a random person from New Jersey, and I don't have anything to plug, but I had fun. Thank you.
Gail Lou as Anger. Andre DeSandies as Resentment.
Hello, everyone. I am just delighted to be a part of this important work.
Alla Ilyasova as Olivia.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alla. I write, I act. I've got nothing to plug, and I'm really thankful to be here.
And me, Doug Seidel, as narrator. Thank you, everyone. Had a great time here. If you're looking for me anywhere, you can find me at Justice Productions on both social media platforms or YouTube. Gloom's Death was produced by Kushin, written and directed by Matthew Basile.
Hi, I'm Matthew Basile. This is the third installment of the emotional series. You can, if you're interested and like this and haven't heard the first two, you can check them out on Victims and Villains podcast feed or wherever you stream your podcast. The first installment's Fierce Tribulation, and the second installment was Love's Passion. This was the third installment in the emotional series called Gloom's Death. When I'm not writing things, I also co-host a podcast called Animine for Victims and Villains, and we will be doing a special live broadcast immediately following this production. So if you'd like to catch it, stay tuned to this Twitch feed, and you'll hear our first live episode of Animine.
You have just watched an original Victims and Villains production